Good morning, you guys. This week we're going to be working through our first unit assessment in our Benchmark Advanced Reading book. So we wanted to kind of break this down for you guys and walk you through it a little bit as it is your first assessment of the year. So I have ready for us the questions that go with the first passage. So with your benchmark assessments for the unit assessments, it is usually 2 passages with questions and then 2 writing prompts. So each day this week we'll kind of break it down and work on just a little bit at a time so you're not overwhelmed and you know what to expect. So this is question 1 with the first passage of your assessment. It is a part A and part B question. So remember, part A and part B should support each other. They go together. Part A asks us which sentence best states the main idea of the passage. So I'm looking for main idea of the passage, not just one part, but the entire passage. Okay, so I'm going to highlight those 3 words. Main idea is the reading skill that I'm going to be using. I'm looking at the whole passage. Part B asks me to choose 2, I'm going to bold print that. I know y'all can't bold print when we're actually on pen and paper or pencil and paper, but that's really important. 2 sentences that support the main idea. And if you guys remember, as we've been talking, sentences that support your main idea are, let's bold print this, key details. Those are details that support that main idea. Okay, so we're looking for 2 sentences that will support our main idea. We did that last week. We worked on that some in class. And 2, I know on the weekly assessment it said 2. We talked about it saying 2, and a lot of people still chose 1. So please make sure you pay attention to those details in the questions. Number 2, it gives me a location, so I make sure I want to highlight, underline, whatever. That paragraph 3, it tells me exactly where I'm going to look, and it wants the meaning of the word violations. The meaning of the word violations. And remember, when we go back to do meanings of words, it's really important to plug in the examples they give where you find the word in paragraph 3 to see if it makes sense. And sometimes we have words that are multi-meaning words, and so it's really important to make sure it makes sense, because in your brain you might already know, oh, I know what that word means. But in the way that they used it, it's not the correct meaning. So it's really important, even if you already think you know what the word means, that you plug it back into the text and make sure it makes sense. Number 3, the author states that working in a coal mine could be very dangerous before 1969. Choose 2 pieces of evidence from the passage that supports this statement. Okay, so I'm looking at how working in the coal mine could be very dangerous, and I think it's important here that we realize that they're telling us before 1969, because that kind of tells me that maybe after 1969 they made some changes to make it safer. So I'm really paying attention to before 1969. And then I need, again, 2, not 1, but 2 pieces of evidence that support that. So I'm looking for some proof, okay, some evidence that supports that. Number 4, how did the Mine Act of 1977, I'm going to highlight this in 2 different colors, help coal miners? Okay, so we have a Mine Act that was put into place. How did it help the coal miners? According to the pie chart, all right, we've got us a diagram, a chart in here to look at. Which statement is true of underground mines in Kentucky? Okay, I'm going to even highlight this in a different color for y'all. We're looking for something that's true, so we can prove it by the chart they've given us. And then we have number 6, and this is the last question that goes with passage number 1. In paragraph 6, remember when it tells us exactly where to look, that's always an important thing to remember. It helps us not search the whole passage. The O in the word supposed is pronounced like the, and then it gives you your options, okay? Remember to say the words. Even saying them out loud, guys, will really help you to hear those sounds, because sometimes we assume that, oh, look, it's the O, so it has to be A or C, and not necessarily is that always the truth, because we're not looking for letters, we're listening for their sounds. Okay, so you have to really say those words, sometimes out loud or plugging your ears and whispering so you can hear it in your head, to listen to when you hear the same vowel sound. Okay, so those seem so easy, but sometimes those are the ones you guys struggle with. So make sure you do that. So today when you come to class, you will need to come to class ready to talk with Miss Corbin and I about the first passage. So we're going to read it with you. You're going to be able to log into your benchmark account, I think. Let me double check with Ms. Corbin if we're going to give you guys access to the test yet or not, because we don't want you rushing through this. We're breaking it down for you so that it's not mentally overloading you, and we really want you guys to think through the questions and work on it. So either you'll have a document like this with the story, or we'll have it in our Benchmark Advanced. But today we're going to read the first story only. We're going to annotate and talk about it so that you're ready on Friday to go back and actually answer all your questions. We'll see you in just a little bit. Happy Monday, guys.